So one of the things I mentioned in the using a grid video was how there's a certain point in the grid you have to get to versus above and beyond work, or enrichment work as we call it. And so this video about goal for the grid versus above and beyond is going to just briefly talk about the differences there. So we already know how to maneuver through the grid, about starting at the top of each section, working our way down, and going into the end of that level, and then moving to the top of the next level. So when you get done with each level, we talked about having some kind of formative assessment to just check in and see how you are doing. So you'll have that at the end of level 1 and level 2, but then when you get to level 3, it's going to be your summative assessment. So this would be like the actual grade for this unit that would go into Skyward, and that is the point that you must get to in the grid in order to be a master of that unit for that grid. Okay, and the due date for that will always be posted in the grid in that last section of level 3, sometimes level 2, but most of the time level 3, so you know exactly when that part needs to be completed. Not the entire grid, just that part of the grid to show that mastery level of the information you have to know. Then level 4 and level 5 will always be enrichment. You will never have a post-assessment level 4. It'll only be level 3, and the very rare occasion that it's level 2. So level 4 and level 5 are that above and beyond levels where you're doing the enrichment. So it's going to be a little bit less guided, and it's going to be a little bit more on you to use your imagination when completing these tasks in these 2 levels. You don't have to get to both of these levels. Maybe you only get to part of level 4, or maybe you complete level 4, but you don't quite get to level 5. That's okay. It's just enrichment. It's just that extra support to push you to that next level since you've already mastered the grid. So I just want to make sure you understood those places where you have to get to, and then the places that are above and beyond. So you have to get to that summative assessment whenever that due date is, and it will be at the end of level 3, although sometimes level 2. And then above and beyond, that extra enrichment will be level 4 and level 5. It'd be great if you can get to those, but don't feel pressured to. Remember, we want to take the assessments when we are ready to take them. Same with the formative assessments. So if you get through level 1 and you're ready for the formative assessment, but then you go to think like, maybe I need to refresh my memory on something, do that before you take that assessment. You absolutely can do that. Don't just feel like because you got to that section you have to take that assessment. You can always go back and review materials before you go to take it. But once you go to take it, you can't have access to any of the other sections. You have to clean up and take that assessment on your own. So just wanted to clear all that up. So level 1, 2, 3, that's what you have to do. Level 4, level 5 are those enrichment, those extra above and beyond activities.